This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is the NFL Playoff Episode 1. I think we're going to be calling it. I don't know what we're going to call it, but we're going to be doing an episode every single day that there's NFL playoff games. And luckily for you guys, this first opening weekend, Wildcard weekend, we have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday games. So we're going to have 3 episodes coming this week for each of those days. What we're going to focus on is what we normally do, is showing you how to use all of the tools we have available on the site to find winning plays. We're going to start off with what's on the screen, finding our favorite player prop, teaching you how to use the NFL player prop predictor so you can find other props for other days, for other sports. And then we're going to look at the money line total and spread predictor to see if there's anything there we like as well for the first day. Just right now, this episode's focused on the first day of NFL playoffs, which is this Saturday. We have Texans, Chargers first, and then Ravens and Steelers second. Some other thing that I'm going to go over, there's a NFL postseason contest that I've been doing for, I feel like 10 years now, close to 10 years. And normally I would never promote a site that is not a partner or that is not paying for promotion, but I feel like I'm going to give these guys a freebie for this NFL season, because it's a really, really fun postseason contest. And out of all of the contests that I play for all sports, this is I feel like this is the best NFL postseason contest that exists. So what we're going to do first is we're going to find our favorite prop and our favorite team bet. And then after that's over, we're going to pull up the site that I'm referring to. I'm going to explain how it works. And I think first place is $150,000. That's like not the prize pool. That's the first place prize. So keep your peepers popped for that. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and look for our favorite prop. So I'm going to do what I normally do. We got receiving yards as our default. We're going to change this to 40. This is something you should be doing every single day that you're looking at NFL stuff. We're going to make sure that our accuracy is not below 50%. We don't want somebody that's unpredictable. All right, so the top play here you see ranking based on percentage difference, which is kind of our default ranking here. The line is the bare minimum 40.5 cutoff. In the last 4 games, they have went the correct direction of the AI's projection at 75%. And then, of course, you see the last data here. This guy went off. He went bananas last week. His projection is not crazy high compared to his line. It's only like a 7.13 difference. There's nobody that's got a higher or even a close percentage difference to Quentin Johnson, unless it's an underplay, which we can check real quick. Yeah, there's not even underplays that have a bigger gap than that right now as well. This guy did go off last week for 186 yards. I believe aren't the Texans favored in this game? Let me triple check that real quick. The Chargers are favored in this game. So the Chargers have a minus 162 money line. The implied chance, which is what this minus 162 means, is a 61.83% chance. Our AI is saying that they should actually have a stronger money line because their projection chance to win is 67. 5% difference. So the tool of Moneyline Predictor is saying you probably want to go with LAC Moneyline because it's a lot cheaper than it should be. So now let's go back to Predictor here. Okay, so Chargers are not only favored by the books, but even more favored by the AI. So now, if they're thinking this is going to be Chargers winning, their running back tandem is banged up, I believe. They are signing Ezekiel Elliott for quote-unquote running back depth, which is just another way of saying he wants a ring and he'll sign whatever contract and go to whatever practice squad just to get it. So I don't know if he's actually going to get playing time or not. But 40.5 is a relatively low line for somebody who's hit this in 4 of his last 5 games. So, I mean, 40 is kind of around his average in the last 5 games. You see, let me go here. So you see he has, let me scroll down here, 48, 45, had an abysmal game against Broncos, 48. So 48, 45 would seem to be the average here with the down game, and then boom, this guy went bananas in Week 18. So something else to pay attention to is Will Dissly's back. I believe he got a touchdown Week 18. I don't know if Ladd McConkey... Let me see. Is Ladd McConkey... I don't think he's hurt. No, his line's at 72, so he's still got a healthy line. But yeah, I don't think... So everybody's healthy, which means more people are recovering the decent tight end, Will Dissly. Recovering Ladd McConkey, who did really great his rookie season, which I think is essentially why Quentin Johnson got open all the time for freaking 186 yards. So can he get 40.5 in a game that they're expected to win? I actually think Houston will put up a bigger fight, which if they even take an early lead, then Chargers, of course, are passing. And I still think that if Chargers are up, they're still going to be passing the ball. Because I'm pretty sure J.K. Dobbins... What is his line? Well, he's got a 60.5 line, but still. My point is still the same, is I still think they're going to be passing. I don't think they're going to be running J.K. Dobbins for the entirety of the second half. So I think Quentin Johnson's what we're going with here. I know a lot of people, I think it was that Broncos game we pulled up, got burned by him. He's not on the ban list yet. I can actually triple check that before I officially say that. Where's our ban list? I'm pulling up Discord right now. That's where our ban list is. You know what? Quentin Johnson is on the ban list. He is on the ban list. So he has burned us enough times where we're not going to be able to do this one. And then the next best one on a 40-yard minimum line is George Pickens. We all know what happened to George Pickens in his last game. If you need a reminder, this guy goose-egged. I think he had like 6 or 7 targets. Granted, Russell Wilson did not do him any favors, but we're not going to touch somebody who went over 6. So Quentin Johnson's on the ban list. George Pickens is essentially on the ban list. And the next person up is Patty Fry, who only has projection that's like 2 yards higher. So let's look at the under again. Nico Collins has an 85-yard line. His projection is 81. Because they're an underdog, I think they're going to be passing more, even though the AI has been right 75% of the last 4 games. I mean, this guy... Yeah, man, this guy was getting like... I feel like he was averaging like 100 yards during the course of the season. Like, yeah, this guy was having a great season, and then Buffalo, something happened in Buffalo game where he had a back-to-back miss of not abysmal game, 78, 54. Got back on track, and in the last 4, it's not been good. So granted, actually, let's try to, now that I say that, let me see what his line is. 87. What was it here? Okay, so FanDuel's got the better line to go under on, definitely. Trying to see if anybody's got higher than an 87 right now. And the tool we added, the 89, even better. ESPN bet 89.5. But yeah, the odds comparison tool that you find by going to here to team on desktop and odds comparison, or if you're on your mobile device or app, in the bottom left, it'll say either player or team. You tap on that button in the bottom left of the app, and it'll show. It has a new filter option called comparison. You tap on that, then click on best props, and that's where you'll see all the different lines displayed all at the same time there. But yeah, Nico Collins under 89.5 ESPN bet. So that's where we're locking in for this. See, that's why we have a ban list. We make sure we don't shit ourselves in the foot too many times. Once you screw with us 2 times, you're supposed to hit a line and you don't hit it twice, you're on the ban list. And so Quentin Johnson's already there. I wasn't sure how many times he's jacked us up, but enough times where he's on the ban list. Nico Collins under 89.5. The closest he's gotten to that in the last 4 games was 60 against Kansas City, and then he had 59 against Baltimore. So yeah, Nico Collins under 89.5. So now, I already told you that the Chargers money line, we don't even need to look at the other tools. Chargers money line is cheaper. How we refer to this, the verbiage of what the moneyline predictor is telling you, it is cheaper than it's supposed to be. So you're getting paid more money on betting on the money line than you should based on their actual AI projected chance to win. So we're going Chargers money line for the team bet people, and then we're going Nico Collins under 89.5 receiving yards. Now that we've covered that stuff, what I said earlier about how we're going to be pulling up something else, that's what I'm going to do right now. So this site is the National Fantasy Football Championship site. The website is nfc.shgn.com because it's owned by Sports Hub Games Network, and so it's NFC. I'll put this in the Discord. nfc.shgn.com. And this is called the NFFC Postseason Hold'em. Now, let me tell you why I love this so much, and I have been playing this for the last 10 years or so. So, what you do, you see on the left side, this is your roster that you have to build. 2 QBs, 3 running backs, 4 receivers or tight ends, 1 flex, which is a running back, receiver, or tight end, a team kicker, and a team difference. Now, what team kicker means is if you pick like Kansas City Chiefs team kicker, and then let's say Harrison Butker gets hurt, whoever is the kicker for the Chiefs, it doesn't matter if somebody gets hurt, it's whoever is actually kicking. So if somebody does get hurt, you still have that team kicker. Now, this is how it works in a nutshell. You can only sign up for this before the first game of the playoffs, which is Saturday, which we just covered, right? So what you're doing in this contest, and I think the best I've ever gotten was, I think it was like 2017. I got like 5th place nationally, which is like $5,000. But the pool, this thing has grown so much that 5th place is much more now than $5,000. But this is how it works. In the very, very first week of the NFL season, you have to pick, you have to fill out this roster, but you cannot have more than 1 player from an NFL team. So I'm going to go through an example here of what I mean, but I want to explain how the scoring works. So it's fantasy scoring, right? But if, for example, so Lamar Jackson's versus Pittsburgh, right? So let's say we click on Lamar Jackson, we add him to the roster, which you see there in the top left. If Baltimore Ravens beat the Steelers, and I keep Lamar Jackson in my roster for the next weekend of NFL playoffs, Lamar Jackson points are now doubled. So I get a 2x multiplier because I had him in there for 1 week. He's advanced to another week, so he's got a 2x. Every single player that I put in my roster that wins their game, if I want to, I don't have to, they're not locked into my roster. I can get rid of them if I want to. But I automatically get a 2x multiplier on them. If Lamar Jackson then wins his next game in the divisional stuff and he makes it to the AFC Championship, he now has a 3x multiplier on it. If Lamar Jackson wins the AFC Championship game and makes it to the Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl, he now has a 4x. So every week that you have a player and they win their game, their multiplier goes up. So the thing you need, in terms of strategy, the stuff you want to pay attention to is you don't want to just go with what we call the chalkiest plays. You don't want to go with the plays that everybody's playing. Of course, everybody's going to have Lamar Jackson. And everybody's going to have like all the big names. But if you can get, like, going back to Quentin Johnson. So he's on our ban list. But let's say, for example, we put Quentin Johnson in here. And let's say the Chargers made it to the Super Bowl. And Quentin Johnson, who's not even the best receiver on the team, or even Will Dissly for that matter, they have a 4x multiplier. If somebody who's not the star receiver or what quarterback or whatever of the team, if somebody that's not the star goes off and you have a 4x on them, you're going to shoot up in the final week, and that's what gets you to the top. The person that won, the year that I got 5th place was it was the year that the Patriots came back from that 28-3 deficit against the Falcons, and somebody in the very first week of the NFL playoffs put James White as one of their plays, and because the Patriots made it to the Super Bowl, they had James White with a 4x, and if anybody watched that game, James White had a ton of yards and 3 or even 4 touchdowns. And so they went from like middle of the pack, skyrocketed to the first place, and I think the first place that year was like $50,000. So you want to have players who will hopefully win their games. I mean, you're going to have to pick players who are going to lose, but if you pick players that win their games, then they keep having that multiplier, and you want to try to get somebody with a great 4x who you think, if they make it to the Super Bowl, are going to go bananas. If Lamar Jackson loses to Pittsburgh, then, of course, you can't carry on Baltimore players if they're not in the playoffs anymore. So then, let's say he loses, and let's say I did not pick Baker Mayfield week 1, and Baker Mayfield or Tampa Bay wins. Then, in the second week of the playoffs, I can add Baker Mayfield, but he'll only have a 1x because this is the first time I've added him to my roster. So you're going to have players that are going to lose. It's just how this system works. You're going to have players that are going to lose. You replace them with other players, but you're trying to make sure the players that keep winning are continuing to vault you up the top of the chain. But let's say if it's a ridiculous chalky Super Bowl, which would be, I don't know, at this point I feel like it'll be Detroit, Lions, and I don't know, Buffalo or Baltimore. Let's just say Buffalo for this matter. So let's say it's Buffalo and Detroit. If you have like Josh Allen 4x and I don't know, maybe like a Jared Goff 4x, you're not the only people. This is a national contest that has people all over the country, and I think even the world playing in it. You're not going to be the only person with that. Granted, you need to have that if they're going to be the top scoring people on the team, but the people that get first place are the ones that have 4x players who not everybody has. So it's kind of, you got to just play strategically on this here. So I'm just going to lock in a lineup here to kind of explain it. Something else, the last thing I'm going to explain on how this works, you can actually add bye week players. So if you add Chiefs players, Patrick Mahomes, or you add Jared Goff to your roster, they're going to get you 0 points in the first week because they're on a bye. But next week when they actually play, because you essentially logged them when they're on their bye, they're both going to have a 2x. So if you think it's going to be Kansas City and Detroit making it to the Super Bowl, which I don't know if Kansas City's making the Super Bowl this year. They've gotten really lucky a lot. And I don't know if their luck's going to continue the playoffs, but anyway. Yeah, you're going to have a 2x on this. And then if they make it to their conference championship games, they're going to have a 3x. And if they make it to the Super Bowl, they're going to have a 4x. But you have to risk that first week of logging in somebody that is on bye. So if I'm just going to go through this real quick. So I think what I typically like to do for the first week is I like to have my quarterbacks in different conferences because I want to actually build a potential Super Bowl matchup. So if I already have Lamar Jackson, then my quarterback's going to be somebody in the NFC, which let's just say Sam Darnold. No, yeah, let's just say Sam Darnold for now. This is just me going through it here. We definitely want Saquon, and you definitely want Derrick Henry. But again, you can't pick. See this little sign here? You can't have Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson because they're on the same team. You can only have one player from a team in the very first week. And the second week, you get to have 2 players from each team. And then the third week, you'd have 3. And in the Super Bowl, you have 4 players from each team. And that's essentially a guarantee unless you're not checking your lineup. I think Gibbs is like the main running back. I don't think in terms of sorry, what I meant to say is I don't think Demont is coming back in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure he's out. But who else would I log here? Oh, it says he's Q. Let me look at his stuff real quick. Goal of returning. Oh, so actually it says he might be returning. This is pretty interesting. So it says his goal is returning in the divisional round playoffs. So he's not even playing in Wildcard week, right? But we're not missing on any points because he's not playing. Not only is he not playing, his team's not playing. So if he does come back and he becomes the goal line beast he was before he got hurt, you're getting a 2x, 3x, 4x on him. So this is actually a pretty good strategy here to log somebody who's not playing, but also their team's not playing, and he might be back. But then you run the risk of if he doesn't get back in the divisional, you still get 0 points. But if they win and you carry him to the conference championship, then you'll still get a 3x on him. So yeah, we'll do that for right now. That'll be our dark horse play. Another running back. No. So I'm looking at... Maybe I'll go Josh Jacobs here. I was looking at Kyron Williams, but I really want Puka or Kupp for the Rams here. So now we're on receiver or tight end. Can't play Chris Godwin. He's on the IR. Let's go Puka. We're going Nico Collins under, so I don't want to put an underplay here. I'm going to do somebody else instead of Nico Collins for that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Mike Evans. And I know these are very chalky plays. I'm not going Scary Terry because he's been on and off. He's has some games where Daniels just can't get him the ball. Maybe we'll go Lad McConkey here. And we have one more. So we have Houston left. We have Houston, Kansas City, Washington. Rashee Rice, no. Do we really want to go Travis Kelce? He's had a really bad... I feel like we have to. If they make it to the Super Bowl, then Mahomes is just going to feed Kelce. So we'll put Kelce as our tight end. Now we have a flex, which is receiver, running back, or tight end. We have Houston, Washington. Here, there's a filter where you can actually hide teams that you already have players of. So we have Houston, Buffalo, Washington, and Denver. So we have 4 teams. No, and Pittsburgh. Houston, Buffalo, Washington, Denver, and Pittsburgh. There are 5 teams and only 3 spots left. So there's going to be 2 teams you don't pick. So if we're saying that like Denver has no chance of beating Buffalo, then we're not going to put Denver in our stuff. But I think Pittsburgh has no chance of beating Baltimore. They are Russell Wilson. The fact that they're in the playoffs makes me want to throw up in my mouth. Like I don't even know how they got there. So we're not. So we're going to say no Pittsburgh. Houston, I still think has a chance. Washington has a chance. So let's say no Pittsburgh and no Denver. So with no Pittsburgh, no Denver. For the flex for Houston, let's go Mixon, another running back. And then for the kickers, we got Buffalo and we got Washington. So my question is, who's got the better scoring defense, Buffalo or Washington? And then based on their fantasy points over the season, Buffalo has a higher points per game. They have 9 points per game when Washington only has 6. So we're going to go Buffalo defense, and that makes us go to Washington kicker. Now, I can click save, but it's not, I can change it as much as I want to, and it's like, hey, David Montgomery's questionable, but their team's not even playing this week anyway. So that's essentially how it works. So every player in this roster that wins this weekend, or all the bye players that automatically advance, I have a 2x multiplier on them. And let me go to the, where can I find the prize pool here? Let me see the rules maybe. So the max entry, there will only be 2,200 entries in this. This particular contest is $200 to enter for every entry you have, but they also have another one that pays $50,000 for first. It's only $50. So here's the full list of prizes here. I don't know. Can you see all this on the screen? Yeah. Okay. So if you get first place, you get 150K. Second place, 25K. So if I got 5th place like I did, I don't know, was it 8 years ago, then the prize is already doubled. Instead of 5K, it's 10K. And so to make your money back, not even make your money back, but actually make a $50 profit, you just got to get in the top 40. But again, there's a maximum of 2,200 entries. I don't have a promo code for you or anything like that. This is essentially a freebie that I'm giving them here. But yeah, this is a contest that I really like, and I feel like it's fun with the multipliers and all the different ways they do it. Something else I think I sometimes dabble in is the Underdog Best Ball playoff only contest. I don't know if I'm going to do that on a video or anything, but the next video we're going to show you guys is Sunday. So this is Saturday Wildcard. Sunday Wildcard, we have another video for that. I won't be going over this again because I'm just going to go over this in this video. But Sunday Wildcard, and we're going to have a video for Monday Wildcard. We already have a video for college football semifinals. There's a game on Thursday, and then there's a game on Friday. The video that I already have on this YouTube channel covers both of those. So lock that in, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions about anything PlayerProps.ai related or even that contest I just showed you, just ask me in the Discord. and I'll answer your questions there. But good luck, guys, and I'm excited to see the playoffs not be a chalky matchup. But yeah, good luck. We'll see you in the Discord.